Hello and welcome to Shell Point today. It's Monday, January 23rd, and we are glad you're with us. And when I say we, I have with me here Beth Crenshaw, our volunteer manager. I have Michelle Tompkins, who's our Resort Services and Wellness Manager, and Bev Chanley, who is our Off-Site Program Coordinator.
Good morning.
That's a mouthful of titles, ladies.
No, isn't it?
Well, you know, it's a beautiful day at Shell Point. It's actually quite sunny right here coming into the studio. I feel very bright right now, but you know, Shell Point is a great place, and I was wishing this morning when I was getting ready to come in here that I had 2190 to call.
Why is that, Dan?
Because I happen to live in a house. It's the first time I've dealt with a well. Our house has a well, and I had no idea how problematic that can be.
Oh, no.
There's so many parts and pieces of the system, so I'm taking a shower, and I'm like, almost got the soap off me, and the water goes boom. It's off. Like, oh no.
That's a bad
Well,
feeling.
turns out it was ants in the pressure switch again. The ants get in and put sand in the pressure switch.
Oh, no kidding.
I've learned more about wells than I ever wanted to know. But anyway, I got it going, so when my wife gets up, she'll have water. So,
That's
and I
nice
made
of
it
you.
in here. So that's my story, and I'm just telling it to you today because I just want you to know how cool 2190 is. One call does it all at Shell Point.
Very true.
I don't have that at my house.
Our residents are very lucky here, aren't they?
Absolutely. So I'm ready to move in. Okay, well, we've got a busy day today. We've got a few highlights going on. Bev, I know you've got an interesting thing coming up about up north, right?
Oh, yeah, we're doing a short trip over to the Waxahachie Center on Tuesday to see Susan Conrad, who's an author and an adventurer. She paddled from Vancouver all the way up to Alaska through the Inside
Whoa.
Passage in her kayak. And I figure since we have so many kayakers here at Shell Point, they'd be interested in going to see her program and presentation. And maybe, who knows, if they enjoyed it enough, maybe that we'll bring her here to talk for our kayaking club if they have a meeting.
Yeah.
So we're going on Tuesday, and the court pickups begin at the island at 5:30 for that. It should be really neat. I mean, you're going to see some spectacular photos, and her stories have got to be many, because if anyone's taken a long trip in an adventure on your own in a kayak, you know you've got stories.
You mean you haven't done that?
Canoe 110 miles, no
Yeah.
kayak 500 miles.
That's
It's
crazy. You got to
a
take
long
all
way.
your stuff with you when you do that because you're camping along the way, right?
I think on 500 miles you probably have a backup unit where you meet up with people
Oh,
along
yeah.
the way, because she can't carry that many days worth of water,
Right.
fresh water, because it's all salt water where she's
Wow, yeah.
paddling. So.
Yeah, I can't imagine, and I know a lot of the residents have done the Inside Passage on a cruise, and I
Sure.
have as well. I can't imagine doing that on a kayak.
It'd be great to go and watch the presentation and see the difference.
Yeah, I think that'll be a really great presentation.
Absolutely.
All right. Well, speaking of presentations, there's a few that you wanted to share with us
There
about.
are, yeah. The first one is the library has got a book talk, and that is happening Tuesday as well. That's at the Social Center at 2:15.
Okay.
It's a resident-led book talk, and the book that they're going to present is called The Boys in the Boat. And this is
Speaking of boats, right?
That's right, yeah.
With him going.
And these are also, it's a rowing team that was participating in the 1936 Olympics that happened in Berlin. So it goes over, it's got a couple of backstories. So it talks about their lives growing up. They all came from low income families during the Depression era. So it goes over the struggles that they've all gone through. And then it also talks about, on their second backstory, a little bit more about what's going on at Germany at the time and the Nazis and
Interesting.
how they kind of covered up all the ugly stuff that was
Right,
going
yeah,
on
yeah.
when the Olympics were there. So, and then this team, they did go to win gold, and so it should be a really neat and interesting book talk. So.
Absolutely.
Sounds very interesting.
And that is in the Social Center at 2:15
Right.
on Tuesday.
And then our friends at the Aviation Club have an interesting thing
They do.
going on,
They
don't
do.
they?
This woman that will be there presenting is incredible. She's a Fort Myers native. Her name is Beverly Bass, and she was the first American pilot for American Airlines.
Wow.
Yeah.
The first
so
American
You mean-
pilot?
the first female pilot,
Female pilot for American,
Airlines.
yeah,
Is that not what I said the first time?
First American.
I just wanted to be clear, it was not the first American.
They
it was
had
the
all
first
those
female
Russian pilots
female.
before.
Right,
Okay.
right. First female on American Airlines
Okay.
for
Yeah.
a pilot, and that was was in 1986.
Wow.
How about that?
Yeah. So.
Not that long ago.
So she made history. Yeah, Fort Myers native.
How about that?
The group will be meeting Thursday, the 26th, and that's at 1:15 in the Social Center. And Beverly will just be discussing what happened with Beverly. We kind of think about 9/11 and what happened to the planes that were involved in the terrorist attacks, but we don't really think about what happened to those other planes that were flying.
Sure.
Well, Beverly was flying on a flight from Paris to Dallas when it happened. So she was diverted up to Canada. So this really
Wow.
small town called Gander. It only had a population of about 9,000 people. And they were diverted there and had to stay there for 4 days, she and her
Wow.
crew.
I think Gander, if it's the same Gander, is in Newfoundland.
It is, you're correct.
mhm,
Yep.
which is way up there.
Yes.
Yeah.
So anyway, 38 planes landed there during the crisis, and the little town really came together to take care of the crew
Wow.
and the people that were on the plane.
I heard some stories about that. They said it was kind of like going to camp. Everybody was like,
Yeah.
all the townspeople were taking care of all the airplane people, and
Yeah. Yeah, I think
been
she
quite an
sounds like an
experience.
incredible lady, so this will be a good
Yeah.
good event. And again, that's
Well,
Thursday
good.
at 1:15.
Very good. The Aviation Club has been going great guns since they started. It was a lot of great programs.
Really
So
great things. Yeah.
another good one. All right, and we've got we have a big band thing going on. Don't we?
There is, yeah. Now the big band, the Memory Makers, they
Oh.
have been here before.
Yeah.
I haven't heard them live, however, I did catch a little blip on YouTube, and they sound incredible. It's an 18-piece big band group that is getting together on Thursday. It's at 6 o'clock in the Grand Cypress.
Okay.
6 o'clock there'll be beverages and some little snacks, and then at 6:30 is when the concert will begin. There are 2 members of Shell Point residents that are in the band.
Nice.
So it should be really interesting. They play compositions from Glenn Miller, Tommy Dorsey, Duke Ellington. It should be a great show.
Great.
Yeah.
Sounds wonderful.
Thanks.
Okay. Thanks, Beth.
Yeah.
Well, Michelle, we had a big week for LifeQuest last week
did.
with the expo, and we got over there with our show and kind of did a thing on location. That was fun to do.
It was fun.
So what's the latest this week?
Well, I'm excited to announce and let everyone know that for the first time we are adding a class at the club over in the group exercise studio. We're adding our newer class called Yoga Fit. We have been asked for years in the fitness department to have a yoga class. And this year we finally incorporated that into our program. So
Alright.
we're really excited and looking forward
Now, you're not-
to adding that class at the club.
Now, you're not making it like 100 degrees in there, right?
It's not going to be hot
Not,
yoga.
not that kind of yoga?
And actually, I'm glad that you mentioned that because our yoga class is going to be a little bit different than maybe the yoga you would take at your gym or at a yoga studio. It's going to be based solely on fitness. We're not going to incorporate any chanting or any humming or anything
Alright.
to that effect. It's just going to be focusing on balance, on strength and flexibility. And I know Hannah Hosterman, our fitness supervisor, has a great class planned.
Right.
So we're really
It's harder than it
looking
looks, though, isn't it? Yoga.
forward. I think so too. And
It's not just, you think, oh, it's all about being still,
No.
but
Right. It's something that I think you can.
I
could
tried
do
it a
the
couple of
next day.
times, and it was
Absolutely.
a lot tougher
So,
than it looks sometimes.
so that class,
Not take it to the extreme. is
Right,
key.
this is like-
do what you can and
A little more
maybe
yoga
increase
light,
as you
huh?
go. Yoga like.
Yeah, right.
That's
All
good.
right.
and this class is on Tuesday and Thursday at the club from 3:45 to 4:30.
All right. Well,
right now.
great.
So,
Well, there's some highlights. We have so many other things going on around Shell Point, and you can check them all out by going up 3 button presses on your remote control to channel 14. There's a complete listing of everything going on today, and you might want to check out some other things. Ladies, thank you for the updates, the highlights for today.
There we go.
We're going to let you go and watch the rest of the show now and enjoy the rest of your day at Shell Point.